Hello and welcome to Enjoy English School.
欢迎来到 Enjoy 英语学院。
I'm Stevie.
And I'm Laurie.
Today, we are looking at our travel English lesson, and we're going to be talking about something that's very important. The topic is, I lost my passport. 所以呢，今天来到我们的观光英语要来看到的这个对话哦，英文的标题就是刚刚 Stevie 老师讲的，我丢了我的护照。那么中文的标题就是我的护照不见了。所以刚刚 Stevie 老师说这是一个很严重的问题啊，确实，如果护照在国外旅游的时候丢了的话，那真的是很麻烦的。 It's very troublesome. This happened to me in Thailand.I traveled there. I was on a 1-week trip, and I went out over the weekend, and I lost my passport.
Wow!
And I ended up having to get a new passport, and it took me almost a week of staying. I had to stay over a week in Thailand.
多停留了1周的时间，就为了那个新的护照这样。
And it was so expensive.
而且很贵。
Yes.
所以出外真的要把护照看好哦。对。
Yeah.
好，那我们就赶快来看看今天呢，这个 Judy 她发生的状况是怎么样？我们来看看。
I lost my passport. Judy walks into a police station.and consults the front desk.
What seems to be the problem?
My passport is missing, so I'd like to file a police report.
Sure. Can you tell me where and when you lost it?
I'm not sure. I went for a walk around Dadaocheng yesterday afternoon and then went to Raohe Night Market for dinner, so I might have lost it at one of those locations.
I see. And when did you realize it was lost?This
morning after breakfast, I was packing my things to check out of my hotel when I noticed it was nowhere to be found.
All right, next I'll need to see your identification card and one other form of ID, such as a driver's license, credit card, or a copy of your passport.
Here's my visa and driver's license. What are the chances that my passport will be found?
If you dropped it, I'd say the chances are quite high.People here in Taiwan have the habit of turning lost items into the nearest police or metro stations. If it is found, I'm sure we'll be notified soon.
That's great to hear. I still have a couple of days left here in Taiwan. Hopefully, I can get it back before then.
Sure, we'll let you know. But first, please complete the police report so we have all of your information. Also, make sure to include a phone number so that we can contact you.
Here you go.Thank you so much.
Okay, looking at our characters today, we have Judy and we have an officer. Now, Judy walks into a police station and consults the front desk. When you consult with somebody, that means you're asking them a question, you're asking them for help, or you're asking them for advice. So she walks into a police station to the front desk and says, I need help.
对，大概就是这个样子哈。好，所以呢，我们一开始看到这个对话，它的设定呢，就是 Judy 她走进了一个警察局，然后呢，去跟 front desk 我们讲说柜台、前台都可以哦，去向呢柜台的人员呢来咨询、来咨商、来求助哦。这里的 consult 刚刚有这个Steve 老师有讲到，就是你去问，可能是问一些资讯，可能是问一些建议，可能是要去求助哦，你都可以用这个动词。
Yep. So the officer sees Judy and says, what seems to be the problem? Now, this is very common. What seems to be the problem? Or they might also say, how can I help you?
这个也是常听到的哦，
Yeah.
就是我能怎么帮助你？那其实呢，这个我们这位警官他用另外一个问法，就是说，那是有什么样的问题吗？哦，那所以换言之就是问说，你现在有什么问题吗？这样子。
In Taiwan, if I lost my wallet once.And I walked into the police station and they looked at me and saw a foreigner.
对。
And at first the officer said, 怎么了? And then he was like, How
are you?
What? He was so nervous. He was so nervous.
Okay.
To see a foreigner. And so maybe if you're in a foreign country and you feel nervous, maybe they also feel like, oh no, how do we talk to this person?
对 ，How do we communicate?
Yeah.
所以呢，其实也不用太紧张啦哦，因为呢，其实可能警察也跟你一样，或者甚至比你还紧张哈。这个遇到不同语言的使用者。
Yeah. So Judy says, my passport is missing. So I'd like to file a police report. This is what you do when you go in to say that something is missing or you lost something. You have to file a police report. That means you have to go in and give them your information.
所以呢，接下来 Judy 就回答这位警官说：“我的护照不见了。”这里呢，你学到了一个说法，就是标题的 "I lost my passport"， 或者是这里 Judy 用的 "My passport is missing" 也可以哦，两个说法都可以。然后他说：“所以呢 ，I'd like to 哦，我想要。”那这个是蛮有礼貌的说法。我想要呢来报案哦。我们中文讲报案，那你就记得英文里头你用的动词是 file， 然后呢 file 什么东西后面有一个 a police report 就是报案的意思。
Yep. So now she said, I'd like to file a police report. The police officer says, sure, meaning I can help you file a police report. Can you tell me where and when you lost it?
然后呢，这个警官就问他说：“首先回答他说，当然可以你要报案，当然没问题。接着他就说，你可以告诉我是在哪里以及什么时间你弄丢你的护照的吗？”
Yeah. And Judy says, I'm not sure. That's pretty easy. We all know this.
对，所以呢 ，Judy 他就说了，我不确定这个也是在丢掉东西的时候常常遇到的状况。其实你并不确定是什么时候跟什么地方丢的。
So here we know that maybe it wasn't stolen. Okay.
可能不是被偷的。
Yeah, maybe she just lost it.
就是搞丢了。
Yeah, so she says, I'm not sure. I went for a walk around Dadaocheng yesterday afternoon and then went to Rauha Night Market for dinner. So she went to two places that are kind of far from each other. So she could have lost it anywhere from there.
对，这两个地点之中的任何一个地方都有可能所以他呢就跟这个警官讲说，我呢这个去散步 went for a walk， 我去散步去晃一晃呢，在哪里呢？绕着大稻埕昨天在大稻埕那附近我绕了一圈，散步走了一圈是昨天下午的事。然后呢，我的晚餐是去饶河夜市吃的，所以呢，这个两个地点的中间都有可能。
Yeah. So I might have lost it at one of those locations. So she said, I might have lost it at one of those places. But really, like we just said, she could have lost it anywhere in between.
对 ，in between 就是两者之间所以两个地点之间也有可能是他丢的地方。
Yeah.
但是这里他说 ，so I might have， 这里不是真的这里是表达一个他在推测，我有可能已经丢了它，是在什么呢？是在这两个地点的其中一个。那其实我们刚刚补充的，或者是两个地点之间。
Yeah. So the policeman says, I see. And when did you realize it was lost? When you realize something, that's when you suddenly understand or learn something. 就是突然发现，
对
right?
对
When you realize something. So when did you realize your passport was lost?
所以呢 ，officer 他就说了 ，I see， 我了解了原来你有去过这两个地点那么你是什么时候才发现 it 是指他的那个 passport 护照呢不见了？是什么时候发现的呢？
And she said, this morning after breakfast, I realized it was gone this morning after breakfast.
然后 Judy 就回答他说，就是在今天早上吃完早餐之后，我发现的。
I was packing my things to check out of my hotel when I noticed it was nowhere to be found. So we know she's traveling. She's staying at a hotel. So she was packing her things. She was getting ready to check out of the hotel. And that's when you check everything, right?
对
When you pack your things, okay, I've got my clothes. I have everything out of the bathroom. I have my phone charger. Where's my passport? Oh no, where's my passport?
Oh.
And then you look through everything again, and she realized it was gone.
所以呢，他就继续讲，他说我呢，就是这个为什么是吃完早餐之后发现的呢？因为我当时正在打包我的东西，要准备退房，然后呢，就在那时候，我注意到我已经找不到我的护照了。
And students, there's a good phrase here that we use sometimes when something is lost. Nowhere to be found. Where is my wallet? I've been looking for it everywhere, but it's nowhere to be found. You could also say I can't find it anywhere. But when we say something is nowhere to be found, this is a special phrase. And you hear it a lot, when people lose things, but you see it in writing a lot.
对。在写作的时候常常会看到就是指说就是怎么找都没有一个地方是能找到的，那也等于刚刚 Stevie 老师讲的另外一个说法，就是我任何地方 anywhere 我都找不到，两个都可以。
Okay, we'll take a quick break right here, and we'll be right back with the rest of the article. Okay, looking at the next paragraph, Judy just said her passport was nowhere to be found. So the officer says, all right, next, I'll need to see your identification card and one other form of ID, such as a driver's license, credit card, or a copy of your passport. So your identification card, we usually just say your ID card.
对。
And if you're a foreigner, then you have like an ARC or an APRC, something like that. But that's called an ID card, identification card.
对。
And one other kind or form of ID, like a driver's license, credit card, a copy of your passport. When you travel, students, I will tell you this, always take a copy of your passport. Always.
Okay.
When you travel overseas, and keep maybe a copy in your bag, a copy in your wallet or your purse.
Different places.
A couple of copies is good to have in case of emergencies.
所以呢，刚刚 Stevie 老师提醒大家，就是如果你出国的话呢，你可以带几个护照的影本放在你不同的地方那是以防万一有什么紧急状况发生的话，就可以派上用场然后我们看到这边 officer 呢，他就说好的这个他知道了这个你的护照呢现在找不到，那么他说下一步呢，我会需要来看你的一个这个你的身份证就是你的 ID card， 还有呢一个这里的 one other form， 一个其他形式的身份证明是什么呢？例如驾照，或者是信用卡，或者就是刚刚提到的这个护照的影本。
Yeah. So Judy, she takes out 2 forms of ID and said, "Here's my visa and driver's license."
所以呢 Judy 很快他就把说这个他的2个证明身份的文件拿出来，他说来，这是我的这个签证，还有我的驾照。
What are the chances that my passport will be found? Like, what are the chances? Is there a good chance, a bad chance? Will it be found? Maybe? I hope.
所以呢，这时候 Judy 她因为实在很担心，所以她就问这个警官说：“那我的护照会被找到的机会有多大？”这里的话，你注意到英文里头它是用 what 就是被找到的几率是什么？是 good 还是 bad 的 chance？ 但是在我们中文是讲大或小的几率所以这是一个不同的地方。
And this phrase.If you're wanting to ask about like 几率大小, then you could. This is very common, but we use this a lot. Like maybe I haven't seen Laurie in maybe a year, and I go to the beach. 然后很巧合，
我们遇到了。
Right? I run into Laurie.
Wow.
And I could say, wow, fancy meeting you here. But I also could say, what are the chances of us running into each other here?
对。
So what are the chances of something happening? Very also a great phrase to use.
没错，那这个时候表示的意思是说，这几率这几率很小这样的一个意思，这是很难的，就是所以很巧这样的一个意思。
Yeah, in Chinese you would say, 怎么那么巧？
对
Right?
就是这个意思。
Yeah, what are the chances? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so good phrase. But she says, what are the chances that my passport will be found? And the officer says, if you dropped it, I'd say the chances are quite high. So this means if you dropped your passport, the chances are pretty good.
所以呢，这个时候警官就回答他的这个问题，他说：“如果呢 ，you drop it， 意思呢就是你如果是遗失的，你是掉了的的，并不是被偷走的话呢，我会说 I would say 这里的是一个我会这样子去说一个推测，就是呢那个几率是相当高的。
People here in Taiwan have the habit of turning lost items into the nearest police or metro stations.
所以呢，接下来呢，这个 officer 继续讲，他说，这个在台湾这儿的人有一个习惯，什么习惯呢 ？Off 后面告诉我们，就是把遗失的物品然后呢送到这里的 turn into， 就是把它交给送到交到最近的警察局或者是捷运站。
And there's also another good usage here. Have a habit of doing something.
对。
Or to be in the habit of doing something. And this is true. Out of all the places I've been to all around the world, if I've lost my wallet here twice. In 22 years, I've lost it twice.
Okay.
Both times, somebody turned it in.
Really?
Pardon me. I got it back twice. I also got my phone back, losing my phone in a taxi 3 times.
Wow.
Got it back every time. People in Taiwan are so good about being honest with things like this. So, thank you.
谢谢这3位。
谢谢台湾人要在这方面这么诚实。
有这样子的好习惯。
Yeah.
对。
Very good habit. Okay, so the police officer says people here are in the habit of doing this. If it is found, I'm sure we'll be notified soon. So now because I put your report in the computer. So if it is found, they will notify us. We'll be notified soon.
所以呢，接下来他就讲到说，所以如果it 就是指你的护照有被找到 is found，那我很肯定我们很快的就会被通知了
Yeah. And then Judy says, oh, that's great to hear. That's so good to know.
所以呢 Judy 就很高兴啦，她说这是真的，听到这真是太好了。
I still have a couple of days left here in Taiwan. So I'm still going to be here for a few days.
所以呢这边他讲到说我还会留在台湾留个几天。
Yeah. And a couple of is 2.
对。
But we often say a couple and a few, kind of 2 or 3. 但是意思真的是 2.
其实它本来的意思是2啦。
Yeah, 2.
对。但是就是通常都被延伸成2、3啊、3、4啊，这样不一定了。
Right. Then she says, hopefully I can get it back before then.
所以他说，那么就希望呢，我能够呢，在那个时间之前，我就可以拿回我的护照。那个时间指的当然就是他离开的时间了。
The officer says, sure, we'll let you know. We'll let you know if we have any information.
对，所以呢，这个警官就说没问题我们会让你知道的。
But first, please complete the police report so we have all your information. means finish filling out your form, complete the form.
对，大家就说呢，但是首先，请你完成 complete 把这个东西完成了这个笔录那么所以我们就可以有你全部的资讯。
Also, make sure to include a phone number so that we can contact you.
然后他说呢，最后请你确保你要这个有填到提供你的电话号码，所以我们才能够联系你。
So Judy finishes the paper and she hands it to him. Here you go. Thank you so much.
然后他就说来这给你，那么非常的感谢你。
Does she find her passport? We'll never know. That's all the time we have for today. We are going to take a quick break and be right back with a review of our words and phrases. Okay, today we learned some great words and vocabulary to use. Number one was passport. You all need to know passport if you're going to travel. We also learned missing. If something is lost, it is missing. We learned location, the place where it was, the location. We also learned realize, 突然发现. And we learned credit or a credit card. And that's, if you're going to travel, you probably need a credit card. We also learned a couple of something. A couple, meaning two. Usually it should be two. Sometimes we use it as more. And we learned the word complete, to finish something, to complete it. And contact. Please leave information so that we can contact you, so we can get a hold of you. So those are some of our words and vocabulary from today. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.